Exactly is business intelligence? Consider a case where you are a owner of a super chain market having hundreds of stores spread across globally, doing generating tons of data of thousands of customers who visited store daily on millions of transactions of billions of products. Now, there may be some questions on your mind that needs to be answered, like what is the sales at a particular store, or what is the total sale of a particular section, or what is the total profit from a particular store, or many other questions like that need to be answered on weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis, or yearly basis. Now, looking at this table does not make any sense, as the complex table is very time consuming to answer anything by looking at this table, and it will be very difficult for you to do any type of analysis from this table. So this is where business intelligence comes into picture. Business intelligence is a set of techniques and tools for the acquisition and transformation of raw data into meaningful information for business analysis purpose. Now, business intelligence can be used for analysis and derive both kinds of monetary benefits and social benefits, which together account for a better decision for running a healthy business. Now, how is business intelligence process flows? So first, for doing business intelligence, we need some data, and this data is generated from heterogeneous sources which need to be combined. This data contains some inconsistencies, and the data is not in a proper format. So we need to convert the data into proper format. For that, ETL process is used. After doing ETL process on the data is dumped to data warehouse. The data warehouse is the place where all the data resides, and we pull all the data from the data warehouse, then do analysis of the data, and finally the data is present to the client on some reporting tool which presents the data in the form of graphs and charts. Now let us see step by step each of the term. ETL. ETL means extract, transform and load. ETL is a process in a data warehousing. Before going the data into the data warehouse, we need to convert the data into the proper format, and ETL process is used to convert that data into the proper format. Extracting the data may be belongs to some different sources, heterogeneous sources, which needs to be converted into one consolidated data by joining the data into the proper form. After extracting the data may contain some garbage values, some null values, or some useless values, which need to be cleaned, filtered, split and joined. For that, transformation is used. After that, the data is loaded into the data warehouse. Now, what is data warehouse? The data warehouse is a relational database which contains the data in the historical data. Now, the historical data is that data which is not frequently being accessed and used by the top managerial position for doing some analysis and then making some decision by seeing the analysis. Now, the data in the data warehouse is contained from different sources and in store in the form of a cube, or it is called as a OLAP cube. Now, what is an OLAP cube? Any data in the organization has two types of data: OLAP data and OLTP data. OLTP data means online transaction processing data, which is being accessed frequently, updated frequently, used frequently, deleted frequently, and is not at all useful for doing any kind of analysis. While OLAP data is online analytical processing, which is historical data and used for doing analysis purpose, firing ad hoc queries, etc. Now this data is stored in the form of cubes so that it could be accessed in an easier way. So this is what OLAP cube is. Now in market there are various different business intelligence tools available. After storing the data into OLAP cube, the data is pulled from this intelligence tools. Some of the tools are MicroStrategy, ClickView, IBM Cognos, Domo, Good Data and Tableau. For my demonstration, I am using Tableau for the purpose because Tableau is basically used for self-development. It's very faster for processing and for you doing business intelligence and easier to do. Now the sample data which I have taken for analysis consists of the data of the number of cases and deaths for the 3 epidemic diseases of dengue, malaria and chikungunya. The data consists of number of cases found and the number of deaths registered. The time period of the data is of 5 years and the source of data is from data.government.in. Now let's start the demonstration. So before showing the Tableau, let's see how the data is. The data is in the form of Excel format like this. The data is available for the 29 states and the 7 union territories. Now looking at this table, we could not analyze anything even though the data is small, but the data for the bigger data it's very difficult to analyze anything. So this data can be then pulled to data warehouse, and from there the data warehouse data can be used by any business intelligence tools for doing any analysis. So in this data I am having the data for cases and deaths from 2011 to 2014 for malaria, dengue and chikungunya. Now let's see how the analysis is done on Tableau. So this is Tableau and this is a one sheet, or I can call it as one report. Now the report contains the data in dimensions and measures. Now the 2011 to 2015 are the dimensions, while the values of the number of deaths is called as measure. So this is one sheet for the number of cases registered for chikungunya, and this is analyzed in the form of bar graph, in the form of bar graph. In the same way, I have made 6 sheet for all the different diseases and the number of cases and number of death registered. Now this sheet automatically, this Tableau automatically counts all the number of cases in background generated from the 29 states and the 7 union territories and present in the form of this sum value. Now I have put all the sheet into a form of dashboard. Now this is a dashboard showing the number of deaths and cases registered for these 3 diseases. Now looking at this charts, we can easily analyze how the number of cases and number of deaths are registered for the particular disease. Like chikungunya, there is no data available, or it shows that 0 number of deaths from chikungunya are 0, while the number of deaths in malaria and number of cases registered in malaria is going continuously down, showing trend which is decreasing, while the trend in case of dengue is completely uneven. So while the number of cases in malaria is like 7 lakh, but in case of chikungunya it's like 12,000. So we could analyze, or we could decide from this, that we need to work much on malaria and dengue than chikungunya, and the number of deaths from malaria is much more than dengue. So we can also analyze that the malaria is more dangerous in a country like India, and we need to work on malaria. and give more preference to work on malaria. So this is what all about Tableau. We could convert any data into any form, and this charts can be also shown in the form of bar graph, pie charts, and many other different formats. Thank you.